All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to get started. Okay, page numbers are on the board. You're looking at textbook page 186 or PDF page 206. Okay. So the last couple of days, we did the first two lessons in the OG&E curriculum on natural resources, okay? That's because it goes hand in hand with the chapter we are in, Human Impacts on Earth Systems. This will be your last chapter of the semester. Let me say that again since half of you seem like you're asleep. This will be the last chapter of the semester. You will not be learning any new material until January after this chapter. That is because between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we do science fair. Okay? I'll fill you in on the requirements and the rules of that when we get back from Thanksgiving. Okay? Again, as I said, I will cover the rules and requirements of that when we get back from Thanksgiving. Yes, sir. As I just said, I will cover the rules and requirements and regulations of that when we get back from Thanksgiving. Anyone else want me to repeat myself again? All right. As always, if you see me on my phone, I'm looking at the textbook. I've got the textbook here. All right, we're beginning Chapter 5, Human Impacts on Earth Systems. We talked about Earth systems in the last two chapters. Okay, we talked about the lithosphere, the spheres of the Earth. We talked about the water systems, Earth's water, whether it's the hydrosphere in the ocean or it's the hydrosphere with the aquifers and the fresh water. Now we're going to talk about human impacts on these systems. Okay, human impacts on these systems. Now, the OG&E stuff we were talking about, some of that is in the lecture today and some of it isn't. Okay, we're going to start off with Earth's natural resources. It's unlocked. That's fine. By the way, guys, the doors are unlocked. So, okay. So we're going to talk about natural resources. Okay. So as we talked about last time, there are kinds of natural resources, right? So what was a natural resource? We talked about that. What is that? What is that, Evie?
Oh, wait, not an example.
I don't want an example. I want a definition. Collins.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. Gage.
A natural resource is something that comes up
Okay.
naturally.
Okay. It does occur naturally, meaning that it occurs automatically in nature, right? Okay. Ryder, what is a resource? What is a resource then?
Natural resource?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got...
That thing that keeps like water,
Mm-hmm.
more water will come.
Okay, that's a type of natural resource for sure. That's called a renewable resource. We'll get to that. So, if it's natural, that means it occurs in nature, right? That's the idea, or the idea behind natural, right? Is that it occurs on its own in nature. It just happens, right? Correct. So a resource, though, is something you can use to do something. Okay? It is something that can be used. It can be repurposed into something else. Okay? For example, a minute ago, Evie said trees. Can we use trees to do other things other than just be a tree?
Make paper, make fire, make oxygen.
Okay? Well, that's it being a tree.
It can turn into paper and not eat it.
Probably shouldn't eat paper. At least not too much of it, because you'll get an impaction in your intestines.
But you can eat everything once.
That is entirely true. You can eat anything once. Doesn't mean you should, though. Yes. Natural resources? Oh, an impaction?
Yeah, what's that?
So if your bowels become impacted, that means there is a blockage.
Oh, so there's like a blockage?
Think of it like a beaver dam in a river.
Yeah.
Except instead of water, it's poop. Okay? Hey, she asked what impacted intestines were. Yes. I said it's when you get a blockage in your intestines. Think of like a beaver dam in a river, except instead of water, it's poop. Yes. Someone drew a drawing. Can I move forward, please? Okay, so natural resource is something that occurs naturally that can be repurposed into something else. It can be used. Okay, so we said trees, and we said trees can be broken down into other materials. Okay, like paper. Okay, we use wood pulp to make paper. By the way, if you've never smelled a paper mill, it is disgusting. It smells like a waste treatment plant. Did you need something, Miranda? Of course. Austin didn't need anything. Mark, what are you doing? Why are you army crawling under desks to deliver a pencil? Evie.
It can be cut up and
Okay. All right. So textiles. Okay. Like wood planks and boards, like building materials, right? What else? Well, that's a building material. It's made into building materials. So we've got paper and building materials. Colt? No, bricks are clay. Yes. No.
If you have a tree and you have a part of the branch, you can make it into a tent.
Okay. We could use it for structure things like tents when we're camping. Okay. Do you have something? No? Okay. Yes. Okay, fire. They are fuel. Okay, fuel for fire, for burning things. I don't know about you, but I really like wood-fired pizza. Yes. Wood-fired pizza, it's where pizza's made over an oven that uses wood as fire. Instead of like natural gas or electricity or charcoal, it uses wood. Exactly. Colt, what were you going to say? Sorry, bud. Rocks are not wood. Rocks are rocks. Okay. Mark? You guys, you're disrespecting Mark. Please. Thank you, sir. Go ahead. You just going to make faces at me or? Water? Okay, we're not there yet. Yes.
You can use the engine that with the current flowing in. You can make energy while using that.
That's entirely true, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Yes, ma'am.
So which William part is it?
Well, it is the one that did science things, specifically involving natural gas. There is a William Hart. Yes.
Some trees have like syrup in them.
Okay, we can use them for food. Okay? You guys like maple syrup?
Yeah.
Well, maple is a tree.
Oh yeah, maple tree.
Okay? What about cork? You know those things we put in bottles? Those corks? They're really porous wood that floats on water. Okay? There are a lot of things we use trees for, right? A lot of them. Yes.
We can use it for
Okay.
kayaks.
We make recreational things out of wood, right?
Weapons.
Boats. If you make weapons out of wood, you've already got problems. Because that's going to break. Okay? These are good answers, guys. These are all good answers. Okay? Now, ready to move forward yet? Okay. Now, okay, we'll wait. So last lecture, we talked about the difference between renewable and non-renewable, right? What makes a resource renewable?
Oh.
Danny, what makes a resource renewable? Well, they are different. You are correct. But what is like a non-renewable resource and a renewable resource, okay? So what makes a resource renewable? Okay.
You can make it's not where it just here, like it
Okay.
it just stays there.
Okay. Elena? Yes. You don't have to ask as long as there's one in, one out, please. Yes.
A renewable resource is that repeats itself.
Okay. So it's a resource that will regenerate, right? Meaning that we have an unlimited amount of it if we do it right, right? So that's a renewable resource. We have an unlimited amount of it as long as we do it right. So what is an example of a renewable resource? Andrea?
It can create on its own, like people don't need to.
Well, that's correct. That is a renewable natural resource. I'm looking for an example this time. So what's an example of a renewable resource? Water. Okay, that's an easy one. You guys, we did an entire lesson on the hydrosphere, and we did an entire lesson on the water cycle. Okay, Payson. The sun, solar energy. Okay. Okay, Adriana? What? Food is renewable. Okay, so that's food/chemical. Okay, so we're talking plants and animals. Nom nom nom. Just the delicious ones though, right? Okay, Gage? Wind. That's a big one. Fire? Not fire, but there's something really important that fire needs. Oxygen. Like gasoline or just gas in the air? In the air? Yes, the gas is in the air. So oxygen and carbon dioxide. They are renewable because of plants. Okay? They are renewable because of plants. Any other renewable resources you guys could think of? There's one more. Yes. Wood is the food, plants, and animals kind of thing. That's plants and animals. How about electricity? Yes and no, but you got to have something to generate it. But this that I'm talking about will generate it. Ooh, getting warmer. Sure. Nope, that's not it. Last one that I'm going to tell you. It's not nuclear. It's geothermal. Okay, that's heat generated by the mantle and core of the earth. Lava magma. That is renewable. Okay, so these are your renewables. Now, if renewables are things that replenish themselves, or if we do it right, we can replenish them in a short amount of time, then non-renewables are what?
Oil.
Not an example, I want a definition first.
A non-renewable source is something that you make itself, but it takes a long period of time for it to come back.
Correct. So, one of two things makes a resource non-renewable. Number one, it does not replenish itself ever. Number two, it takes so long for it to replenish itself that it may as well not replenish itself. Like uranium, right? Oil, that kind of stuff. So, Coca-Cola. So, what I'm getting at here is is you're looking at things that either take way too long to replenish themselves or they just don't. Okay? So, example a minute ago, oil. Oil will technically replenish itself after hundreds of millions of years. Coal is the same way. Coal. Gold, so metals. Okay, metals like gold, lithium, cobalt, uranium. What? I can't hear you. Guys, Danny is 4 feet from me and I can't hear her because you guys are running your mouths. Stop it. Yes. Well, acid technically is renewable because it occurs naturally in nature. Yes. Yeah, fine. Why did you need to interrupt my lecture to ask that? If you don't know, you shouldn't have asked it. Waiting on y'all. Okay. What are some other non-renewable resources? We've got metals, oil, coal. What else? Petroleum. Petroleum is the chemical that oil is taken out of. Okay? Petroleum, natural gas. Okay, natural gas. What else? Yes? No, salt does occur naturally and will replenish. Okay? Because salt is because of acid-base reactions. And it exists in such quantities in the ocean. These are good answers, guys. Now, I need to also tell you the difference between minerals and rocks. Okay? Because minerals and rocks are non-renewable. Okay. There is a difference between a mineral and a rock. Did you know that? There is a difference between a mineral and a rock. So, if I said mineral, what do you think of? Gold? Silver? Could be. Could be. Iron? Okay. Geodes? So, here is a good way to remember the difference between a mineral and a rock. A mineral is a pure substance. Okay? Like if I had a salt crystal. Okay? A salt crystal, all that is in it is sodium chloride. It is a salt crystal. You with me? That is a mineral. With me so far? Okay? Now, if I have a rock that has both, it has salt, it has coal, it has a variety of different minerals in it, that is a rock. So minerals are pure substances, and rocks, there are several minerals smashed together. Okay? One mineral is a mineral. Lots of minerals together is a rock. Good? Do we understand that? Okay. Your book defines it. Here's how your book defines a mineral. Okay? Naturally occurring non-living solids in the Earth's crust. That is how your book defines a mineral. And your book defines a rock as natural substances made up of one or more minerals. Okay? Examples of this. God, I can't wait for this new seating chart. Y'all keep running your mouth, talking over me. Just about done with it. I'm about to start taking names for Thursday. Already. Okay. So, what are some examples of rocks? Well, one of my favorite ones is called limestone. So, what is limestone, Danny?
Limestone is there. you look at it, it kind of in the dark, it kind of like glows.
No, if it's glowing, it's radioactive, and you should get away from that. Yes. Okay. Somebody over there seen How to Train Your Dragon too many times. It's in your Gronkle iron. Okay. Yeah, totally caught that reference, Gage. Okay, you guys have actually seen a lot of limestone. You just don't know it. So limestone are these little white rocks that when you scrape them across something, they leave a white streak. We call them, I've always called them chalk rocks. They're like chalk.
I thought they were chalk rocks.
Okay, you may call them chalk rocks. I called them chalk rocks growing up. Okay, yes.
I always used to, when I did have chalk, I always used those.
Now, here's something interesting about that. Those rocks are actually made up of a few different minerals. Okay, all pushed together. Now, the best fact I have and why limestone is my favorite kind of rock, the reason for that, other than the fact that, they're fun, they're chalk, right? My favorite fact about them is they are formed at the bottom of the ocean.
Wait, how do you get up to Earth? Because it doesn't rain rocks.
You are correct.
Deserts used to be big. Wait, ocean that had water. Wait, I want to know.
Ava's like, shut up, I need to know. Put it down. I got it.
Okay.
You have a theory? You mean you have a hypothesis? Okay, what is your hypothesis?
So a long time ago, the Earth was like all like kind of water, and now it's like. Be quiet. So I'm guessing that's how those rocks are now up.
You're actually very close, Evie. Very close. So here is how there's limestone, because most of Oklahoma is limestone. We have a ton of limestone all over Oklahoma. Now, interestingly enough, you can find a lot of marine fossils in limestone. It's very common to find ocean fossils in limestone. Very common. Now, I said before, limestone is made at the bottom of the ocean. If Oklahoma is covered in limestone and it was only made at the bottom of the ocean, what does logic tell us? Colt? Or it's not Colt, Ryder. Sorry.
That Oklahoma used to be under the ocean.
Oklahoma used to be at the bottom of the ocean.
Did it actually used to be under the ocean?
It did. Oklahoma, long time ago, okay, used to be under the ocean. That is why you can find limestone and marine fossils all over Oklahoma.
Probably in the ocean. Can you find them in Texas?
Yes, you can.
But can you find them in other states? Or
Mhm.
What about Oklahoma and Texas?
There's a lot of limestone. Okay, yes.
Why is it called limestone?
That's just what they named it.
It shouldn't be chocolate.
Yes.
So my hypothesis was right.
Close. You were very close to the correct answer, but close enough to where we can generalize.
Okay.
Yes.
Why would they make chalk if they were made in the
It's a great question because kids like to draw on sidewalks.
how do they make
How do they make chalk? Similar process. They just compress it. Because now when I make the seating chart, I know you guys very well. That means I can put you in areas where you're not going to be a disturbance to me. Can I move on yet? All right. So some other examples of rocks. Okay. Granite. Who knows what granite is? You guys play Minecraft, right? Come on now. Granite is what people make like countertops out of. Yes.
In Minecraft, it's the most annoying block when you're mining.
Agreed. Yes, sir? You guys can put your hands down if you're still talking about Minecraft. That's awesome. Hey, dude, you got to be proud of something, right? I'm a big gamer. You know that. I love it. Love the gaming. Guys, can we move on, please? What's up? No, I don't need you. If I need you, I will call you. Thank you.
Or get the bombastic side eye.
Or the bombastic side eye. Yes, sir. Bombastic. I don't do a Jamaican accent well. Waiting on you. Waiting on you. Again, waiting on you. Your test grades are going to suffer if you don't close your mouth and get off of games.
Oh. Huh?
Y'all's whole life's going to change if I get a grant for monitoring software.
What does that mean?
Oh, it'll let me put what you're on up on the TV while I lecture. Oh, what you're doing on your MacBooks. I'll be able to observe you while I'm lecturing. I know, if you follow the rules, you don't get in trouble? What? Yes. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Gage, did you have a question, or are you just flinging that thing around for fun? Okay, let's not, please. That's okay. He hit somebody with it. It belongs to me. It's just that easy. It's that easy, guys. I suggest you put it away. Waiting on y'all. Yes, ma'am. Electricity is a work of something? Energy. Energy is the ability to do work. We ready to move on yet? Good. Okay, your words say yes, but your actions say no. Yes, they do. All right. So let's talk about water resources. We've talked about other kinds of resources. Let's talk about water. Okay. Now, actually, before I get into water, if you will join me on textbook page 191. Okay, so that would be 5 pages, would be 211 on the PDF. There is a map of the metal mines and the mineral mines in the United States. You can see coal, copper, gold, and iron. Okay? Coal, copper, gold, and iron. These are the metal mines, the mineral mines we have in the U.S. and where they're located. Yes? That's a great question. It's one of the rare earth metals. I want to say it's platinum, but I'm sure there's something more expensive. Probably one of the higher end radioactive things. I know polonium is very expensive. Can you use what? I wouldn't use anything radioactive on any kind of jewelry. Yeah, you make you make a polonium ring, you're gonna lose your finger. Or your life. Yes. What's that? Yeah, netherite's not real, homie. All right. Can we move on? I've got it. Carter? Yeah. Yes. No, I'm going to hit water resources, then air resources, and we're done with the lecture.
And then we take a test.
Not yet.
Wait, what?
You've got a few more lectures.
I thought we only take 2. I thought it's 2 lectures.
Who said that?
There's 6 lectures.
In the OG&E stuff. I'm going to finish that later. I've got to finish this chapter so we can get your test out of the way before we start science fair.
What about the bags that you didn't give us about
I was still going to give them out, guys. I've just got to finish the OG&E stuff. Eli, can I do for you? Okay. Guys, can I move on yet? Please? Don't make me get mean. It's Monday. Don't make me get mean. Let me be nice to you. I can turn it on like a light switch and turn it off like a light switch. Me being mean. I can turn it on and then turn it right back off. You're not going to like it. Yes, Danny. Go. Can I move on? Thank you. So next, water resources. Okay. Is water renewable or non-renewable? Renewable. We did an entire chapter on water. Okay. Why is it renewable?
Because the water cycle.
The water cycle. Okay. Yes.
I have another answer.
Okay.
It's because it's renewable because it repeats itself. Like it keeps generating itself.
Mm-hmm. Collins. Anyone else want to join her? Thursday in my classroom while the rest of us are at recess? No? Okay. Moving forward. Water is a renewable resource, okay? However, most of the water on the earth, we can't drink. Okay, it's because it's salty. Okay, it's salt water. The vast majority of the water on earth is salty. I think it's like 97.3% or something like that.
Salt water makes you more dehydrated.
Now, you do need some electrolytes in your body, but generally speaking, the water is too salty. Mark, did you have a question? You're doing this. Do you have a question?
So if you drink salt water,
No, your tongue doesn't turn to salt if you drink salt water. However, you have too much salt in your body, you dehydrate and you die.
When you die?
Yes.
Yes.
Because if they gave you just straight distilled water with no minerals in it, it also dehydrates you because it pushes all the minerals out of your system. So they have to have it slightly salty so that you can keep the electrolytes in your blood so that you'll have enough liquid and electrolytes. Make sense? Like, think of it this way. Like, you remember we talked about the ice caps melting? So the problem with that was we're dumping a lot of fresh water into the ocean, but not adding salt, right? So that means there's more water, less salt. As a whole, the ocean is less salty. The same thing with you when you're given an IV of fluids is that they don't want to just push water in there to dilute your system all the way out because then you'll dehydrate anyway. You have to have those electrolytes. Okay, so they have a little bit of salt in it, just a little bit. Yes?
How does a living animal in the ocean they still live even though there's so much salt in the ocean?
Because they have adapted to living in the ocean. Okay, they have evolved the traits needed to live in the ocean. We have not. Now, there's actually a tribe of people that evolved like webbed toes or something like that for swimming.
Humans?
They're like ducks. There's like these tribes that do not live on land; they live on the ocean.
Like
Yeah, you can look them up sometime. Yes.
Could you take whatever you said out of the fish and put it in your body?
It doesn't work that way. I would not recommend doing that.
Wait, how do they live in the ocean even though like they're human and they can't breathe in the ocean? Like as soon as they
They're not breathing underwater, but they're able to hold their breath for a very long period of time. They have webbed toes, all kinds of stuff.
they grew web toes.
It's what's called a mutation. There are people here on the land that have webbed toes.
Wait,
It's a mutation.
Wait,
It's a genetic mutation.
wait, how is like tribes like
So there's a thing called natural selection. I'm not going to get too far into this today, but natural selection is the idea that whoever is better adapted to the world is the one that's going to reproduce and survive.
I got the chills from that.
Sir, that's interesting. Yes. One more time. Sorry, I was writing names.
What's the advantage of living underwater and having that?
The honest answer is that I can't tell you, but it's what their culture dictates. Okay. Moving forward. Good. All right. So water resources. We can't use most of the water on the earth because it's salty. We have to either distill it and then redo it to take the salt out of it, or like distill it and recondense it, or we just can't use it for drinking purposes, right? We use for other purposes like generating electricity and that kind of stuff, but we can't use it for drinking purposes for life for us. So fresh water, while it is a renewable resource, there's not much of it. Does that make sense? It just cycles again and again and again, that little bitty amount. All right? Yes. Right, roughly 3%. Okay? And finally, air resources. Okay? Now, is air a renewable resource? Yep. Okay, well, air and wind. Wind is the movement of air parallel to Earth's surface. By the way, that is the definition of wind. Yep, the movement of air parallel to Earth's surface is the definition of wind. How do I know that? Because I teach it in 6th grade. Because I've taught that lesson for, this will be my 5th year. You memorize things. It happens. You say it enough, you memorize it. Okay? So, air is a renewable resource. It is. However, there are some problems with our air right now, right? We've got some problems. Pollution is one. Pollution is one problem we have with our air, right? There are actually pollution warnings in major cities. Seriously. There are air quality warnings. We've had air quality warnings, haven't we? They're caused by pollution in the air. You've also got acid rain.
What? That's a thing?
Acid rain is real.
What is it?
Yes. Okay.
It's not what it sounds like.
It actually is. It is what it sounds like. It's just not as strong as people think it is. So there is raining acid in certain places, but it's not like acid where you like melt like you're made of salt. Okay? It's acid in the fact that water, it has a pH of 7. It'll have like a pH of like 7.8 or 8. So it's not crazy acid. You drink or you eat acid that's stronger than that.
Huh? Like when you eat?
Like vinegar.
I don't eat vinegar. I just asked if you eat snow.
Technically, yes. But that's something you should take into, consideration.
If you want to make snow crabs, yeah, just don't eat the yellow snow.
Yes, please don't eat the yellow snow. Yes, ma'am?
Acid rain can kind of shape like
It can. Austin?
What color is the acid rain?
Clear?
Yellow.
Does anyone have any questions about anything I've covered today? Yes, sir.
grass over? Wait,
It's true. It will dehydrate you. Names on the list so far: Collins, Elena, Cadence.
I wasn't talking.
Yes, you were. Watch your mouth. All right, guys.